Hello everyone, welcome back. On this part of the tutorial, we are going to try to use React Bootstrap to replicate some design, well, to create more, to use our language properly, to create this design that we were assigned to create. So the designers send us this, that it's a very nice design, and as you can tell, the first thing we need to do, well, the first thing we need to do is to relate what of these components can be done with React Bootstrap. So for example, this thing in here that have like two buttons and a search bar and a button that says buscar, we can use input group, for example. Input groups are groups of inputs. So the idea is to add different types of inputs into a single row. Or maybe it can be a button group, because there are multiple buttons in here and multiple things that we can group in these regards. So we can both use these two components, the input group or the button group, or even find inside the forms different types of ways of doing this. So the other thing that we see in here is that we have buttons, so maybe we can use the buttons of Bootstrap to replicate this. And in here we have these cards, and the perfect way to use this is with cards, and because cards kind of look like this. And for example, these are cards too, and this is a button, and this is a form, no? So we can use the forms component to create this, no? And little by little, the idea is using the components of Bootstrap to create this website. So let's try to do this thing over here that says comprar, alquilar, localidad, buscar, no? So let's try to do it. I think it's gonna be kind of simple, and we can try to do I don't know if an input group it will be the best. Let me see, or maybe a button group, because as you can tell, the input group, the thing is that it merged the different components. So an input text, it is merged with this, a button maybe merged with something else, and the design, it is merged in here, but it's separated in here and it's separated in here. So maybe we can use an input group for these two ones, or maybe a button. But it kind of makes sense to use button group, because button groups can be done in this way. So in here we have two buttons that are like this, merged together, and we have a search bar in here and a button over there, no? So I don't know, let's try to do it with a button group, and let's see if it works, and if it looks nice, we can use it. Okay, so let's go to our code and create a container, and inside this container we can create a class that it's called main search, and within this class we can create this thing, no? So, well, let's use the correct syntax of React for this. So button toolbar, and let's call button group, and okay, so let's see. The first thing we need to put are two buttons, one for comprar, one for alquilar. Let's have two buttons, one that says comprar and one that says alquilar. And the other group, it is a search bar with a magnifying glass. So let's go to forms and let's create an input. So, or maybe it's an input group. Let's try do an input group in here, and let's try to do something. Let's see if we find something that is similar to this. Yeah, well, maybe this one, for example, this one, it is something kind of similar. So it is, at the end of the day, this is a small button and this is a text input, right? So let's try to use this one. And we can add it inside the button group inside here. Hopefully it doesn't break. Let's see if it breaks. It is my fault and I am sorry about it, but this is something we need to try and experiment to create. So the last button is a button that says buscar, okay? Buscar. And obviously we have to call these things in here, that it's an input group, and a form control. Form control, and the placeholder needs to be localidad. Okay. Localidad, and let's put localidad, and let's put bus. Well, I don't know if this is it makes sense. Yeah, the magnifying glass maybe doesn't do anything because we have a buscar button in here. Maybe this should be only a form and not a form group and not an input group. Let's try form control only, and let's erase the input group because we are not using it. And voila. So it isn't like 100% like this. It isn't like exactly this design. So we need to create this design to be similar to this one, right? So the first thing we need to do is to change the background. So we created this thing, this class that it's called main search, and main search. Obviously, you need to organize better your assets because this is a little bit not very nice. And let's copy the color, background color, and let's see what's the measurement in here. It's 18 and 26. So padding top 18, left 26, and it have a border radius of 5. Border radius of 5 pixels. Okay, so we will need to obviously adapt this to the size that we have in here, and let's see if there are white buttons. I don't remember having. Oh yeah, we can use, instead of the variant we were using, that it's the primary, we can use the light buttons. No, so button comprar and the other button that it's alquilar, we can use the variant light, and the variant for buscar, it can be light too, if yeah. So yeah, it isn't 100% perfect, but as you can see, in less than 8 minutes we created something super similar to this, and we just now need to modify a little bit the CSS in order to have it perfect, and maybe add a nice icon in here or something like this, the separators or whatever, but this is done. Okay, I hope this tutorial have been useful for everyone, and obviously we can do more complex stuff and it will take a lot of time and practice to remember all the names of classes and everything, but I think as a starting point it can be good for you to install it and start using this and trying to replicate designs, and you will find yourself creating very beautiful websites in no time. Okay, that's it for today, and thank you. Have a wonderful day, and hope to see you soon. Everything will be in the description of the video, so have a nice day. Ciao ciao.